Before joining BBC Scotland, I worked at STV North in Aberdeen. I was employed there as a video journalist, which means I went out and about with my own camera, filmed my own material, came back, edited it and produced a package for the nightly programme, The News at 6. Before starting in TV though, I worked for 5 years in commercial radio at North Sound Radio in Aberdeen, where I was a general reporter. A job opportunity came up at BBC Scotland in Aberdeen in late 2016, and it was an opportunity that I really couldn't miss. It was a chance for me to work both in TV and back in radio, which is something that I'd really missed doing. It was a really tough process getting into BBC Scotland, but absolutely worth it. The best thing about working in the North East is that it's such a diverse news patch. There's always something to talk about, whether you're reporting on a story in the oil and gas industry, whether there's been a fatal helicopter crash in the North Sea, if the Royals are in town, if Donald Trump's arrived at his Aberdeenshire golf course. There's always something different to talk about, and you really get a good feeling of meeting new people, different people all the time. There's always a human interest story to be told, and I just really enjoy the diversity of it. To work in news, firstly you need a really good nose for a story. I've always said that I'm very nosy, and I've always enjoyed hearing what people have to say. You also have to be able to work to tight deadlines. If a breaking news story comes in, you have to be ready to be able to go on air with it ASAP, you know, whether that's for radio, whether that's for television. You need to be a people person. You're around people a lot of the time, whether that's your colleagues, working very closely with your camera operators or producers. You also need to be able to get the best out of people and be able to converse with people and be able to draw out their stories so that you're getting the best detail for your piece. And when it comes to roles in Aberdeen, we have pretty much everything. I mean, I work in the news team, but there's also TV production that happens up here and radio production. So for example, the Out for the Weekend programme on the radio or Landward for the television. So when it comes to roles, there really is anything that you could dream up. I mean, we've got editors, we've got camera operators, technical engineers, reporters, producers, so really a role for everyone. The best advice I think I would give to somebody applying for a job in news at the BBC is to bring as much experience to the table as you can when you're applying. Try to think of all the stories that you've broken before, the original journalism, because that is so important here at BBC Scotland, and it should be important for any journalist. But if you don't have that experience to draw from, then the best advice would be to bring ideas to the table. You can never have too many ideas, too many fresh treatments for stories, and that's for all platforms, not just television, not just radio. We're talking digital and online as well. So if you can come up with some new fresh ideas and new story ideas, then that should serve you well. This organisation is fantastic for giving you great opportunities. You're always really well supported, and there's lots of room to kind of develop and grow. The great thing about this job is that no day is the same. You're never clock watching, looking to get home. If anything, you're hoping for more hours in the day.